Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Nitro Mountain. This board features Nitro's Out Camber Profile, which is basically cam rocker, so you got a predominantly camber midsection with a little bit of rocker in the nose and the tail. This is going to give you the load and pop of traditional camber, but you're going to get that ease of entry in and out of turns due to the rocker, as well as more optimal powder float. This board is available in 157, 160, and 163. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day with cooler temps. There was 6 inches of fresh snow. There was perfect corduroy in spots. There was chunder and crap and crust underneath that fresh snow, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board has a slightly stiffer than middle of the road directional all mountain free ride flex to it, so you get a softer nose that progressively stiffens back up to the tail with a little bit of torsional flex. It's not crazy amount. It is noticeable, so you can twist the board. And when it comes to the stability of this deck, you get a little chatter out in the nose, and then it pretty much just disappears before you even get to that front insert pack. The stiffest and most stable section of the board is through the middle, off the tail. You'll notice that right away. This board can plow through chunder and chop with the best of them. It's very smooth. You don't feel those micro vibrations underneath, but it's not dead. That's the nice thing about it. It's like damp where it needs to be, but still lively and retains that usefulness riding all over the mountain. With this board being predominantly camber dominant, sure, you got that rocker out there, you have to load it up to get it to engage and snap. And when you do, it's not the most reactive. It doesn't just rebound right back into its shape. It's a little bit more delayed, which in my opinion kind of deadens the amount of pop you get with it, but by no means is this thing awful at boosting off a side hit, a roller, a pow popper, or anything like that. This board can get you in the air with ease. Just be aware that when you load it up and you snap, there's a slight delay to the reaction of it. This board is a chore to butter with. You pop a 180 and you land on the nose, you're fighting it the whole way, and even when you do butter on it, it's not a deep one, and this board wants to get itself locked back to the ground. When you're doing something on the tail, basically you're manhandling it to try to get it to wheelie, and it's not fun. My advice, find a section of steep, wide open terrain with fresh snow. Something that when you land in it, it's already steep enough so that you can just push into it and ride it back down. That's the best advice I can give you, because this board does not like to butter. Does not. This board is smooth from edge to edge. There's a lot of power and precision behind this board. It's not the most nimble, which is fine because it doesn't need to be nimble edge to edge, because this board cuts through every variable in its path. When you're on edge, you're locked in, you feel secure. When you want to rail a deep, hard, aggressive turn, you can. From the center back through the tail, you can really push into it, feel that power, and watch it drive you in and out of that turn. Overall, short, tight, quick carves, or long, hard, drawn-out ones, it's got you covered with everything in between. This board is solid for carving on. Who's this board for? The harder charging, free ride, pow chasing guy that has a slight freestyle flair to it. The last time I rode this board, I wasn't totally sold on it, but since I've ridden it again, it feels like the side cut and flex have been tweaked a little bit. It is a damp ride, but it's still lively where it matters. You don't feel like you're on just a dead turd. And when this board's on edge, it cuts through everything in its path. You can be surfy in POW when you need to, but you get so much more power out of this thing, especially off the tail when you have to drive it. This board is great for charging when you need to or being laid back. You don't have to bring your A game with it all the time. Comparable boards, the LibTech BRD, the Battalion Camel 2, the Ride Berserker. Binding recommendations, the Nitro Phantom, the Burton Cartel, the Union Atlas. This has been my review of the Nitro Mountain. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.